Hi guys, this is editorial analysis for September the 26th, 2016. Yesterday was Sunday, so newspapers don't carry heavyweight editorials on Sundays. Still, there was just one. I thought it was important. I think this was in Hindu newspaper. It talks about what an eye knife is. Eye and knife. Eye as in Apple's iPhone and knife as in chaku. So it says it's an electroscalpel that it is used to treat cancer tissues. So what it does is that it cuts out a portion of cancer tissues and then it vaporizes them, and then doctors can check what is the chemical composition of that vapor. That will help them to decide what amount of tissue has to be cut out, what amount of cancer tissues have to be cut out so that healthy tissues are not damaged. So that is what an eye knife is. If it comes in preliminary, that is what you will answer. Eye knife, not a knife. That is by Apple. So let's move on to the editorials on September the 26th, 2016. Let's go to the first one. This was in the Hindu newspaper. It says we have signed a deal with France for 36 Rafale multi-role fighter jets. Indian Air Force has been facing depletion of fighter jets. This weapons package includes the Meteor radar guided beyond visual range air-to-air missile, considered best in the class with a range of 150 km. And the Scalp long range air-to-ground missile with a range of 300 km. It will help maintain the Indian Air Force's air superiority as they have no equivalents in the region. They will play lead roles in India's second strike capability, replacing the Mirage 2000 fighters. It will cost 7.87 billion euros. Remember, not dollars, 7.87 billion euros, which in Indian rupees is 59,000 crore rupees. So that's about the Rafale deal. I really don't know how to pronounce it. It's written as RAFALE. Let's move on to the second editorial. It says that the Chancellors, Masters and Scholars of University of Oxford versus Rameshwari Photocopy Services. That is a case that University of Oxford has filed against a photocopy services in Delhi University. In this case, the Delhi High Court had said that making course packages for suggested readings for students by photocopying portions of various prescribed reference books does not amount to copyright violation of the publishers. Section 14 of the Copyrights Act 1957, that is Copyrights Act of India 1957, grants a bundle of exclusive rights such as the right to reproduction on copyright owners for making commercial exploitation of the work. Photocopies are a reproduction, thus they actually do violate section 14 of the Act unless it is mentioned in section 52 of the Act, which allows others also to reproduce it if any provisions of the Act allow it. Thus, this Act ensures prevention of stagnation of creativity by protection of copyrights and dissemination of knowledge at the same time. Indian copyright law uses the term fair deal, whereas in US they use the term fair usage. According to TRIPS, these exceptions must confine to special cases which do not conflict with the normal exploitation of the work. Since fair dealing is not defined in the Act, that is Indian Copyrights Act, the court determines it on case-to-case basis. So that means Delhi University has not done anything wrong by allowing my Rameshwari photocopy services to reproduce course packages. Let's move on to the third editorial. it talks about the whole rising prices for pulses issues. This was in Indian Express newspaper. So, what are the problems on the pulses issues? First of all, it says that MSP for pulses is much lower than market prices. So, the government suffers losses when it buys pulses from farmers, but it does not get remunerated. We must create a buffer of 2 million metric tons when prices are low by procuring or importing of pulses. So the author here, he has given an example of how we tried to deal with the pulses issue earlier. He says the government had decided to procure pulses in 2015 Kharif, but the market prices were much higher then. So this procurement by Government of India was financed through a price stabilization fund of rupees 500 crore. And NAFED, SFAC, SFAC and FCI were nominated as the nodal agencies for undertaking this program. These agencies do not have the track record, infrastructure and finances necessary for such procurement. So this whole exercise was a failure because most states, they are not interested in distributing pulses, even though most subsidies are borne by the central government and retail prices have been high. Now looking towards the future, a 2 million metric ton buffer will require 10,000 crore rupees as a price stabilization fund and not 500 crore. That is very less. So either Government of India should set aside this amount or allow the Food Corporation of India to use its line of credit. Also, we had already discussed earlier, Arvind Subramaniam, he had already said that this buffer should be created on a PPP basis, public-private partnership, and the private players in this initiative must be compensated immediately because they bring in their expertise and their infrastructure. Also, we should not ban, this author suggests that we should not ban exports because it favors only the consumers. If we ban exports, that means that the highest price that a farmer could get for his pulses, he will not get it. So from next year, he will not cultivate pulses again, and the prices in domestic market will increase. So that is it for today, September the 26th, 2016. There are two very important articles on corporate social responsibility today from the Hindu Business Line. I'll discuss them tomorrow because today I'm not feeling well. So that's it for today. Thank you.